大家好, doobies. We are in Taipei. The waterworks were supposed to go off, but not for this episode. Sorry.
But before we dive in, a quick word from today's sponsor, Aer. I made a vow this year to only work with sponsors that I believe in, so I'm really happy to announce that this video is sponsored by Aer. So I received their carry-on suitcase back in May, amongst other goodies like the fanny pack that I'm wearing throughout the video, and also the reason why my hair is long, it's not a wig. And ever since then, it's been my go-to travel buddy. The suitcase itself feels super premium with minimalist design and incredible in-class material. It's available in 5 colors, but I opted for the black and white. What makes Aer so special is all in the details. I'm really particular with suitcases because Kevin and I travel a lot for work. I wanted a light yet stable and durable bag that's also stylish, but perhaps my most favorite aspect about this bag is that the brake system prevents the suitcase from rolling away and the wheels are super smooth. So if you're looking to upgrade your travel suitcase, Taipei is a busy city, and in the busy mornings, forget packing your breakfast, get your ass on the scooter and drive to work. Thousands of commuters go their own way, but no matter how busy life gets, we all gotta eat. And Taiwanese breakfast shops are an essential part of making sure that the people in the community are fed and nourished.
We're gonna go get some breakfast. More specifically, something called a chop bar here in Taiwan. And it's inside the local market, and all the vendors are starting their morning here at the chop bar. So let's go get our breakfast. I'm hungry. It's also so moody because it just rained.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this a buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it, I get the bag and I run with it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it.
There's something about a chop bar that I'm already really loving. Number one, the array of side dishes that you can accompany with your rice. So the way you order is you order a bowl of rice and you order whatever side dishes you want to get. Usually people get 2 or 3 and also get a soup on the side. We got a hu gua stir fry with garlic and onion. We got some minced meat that's braised in almost like a sweet soy sauce, fried eggplant, and look at the color on this beautiful violet hue. Fried fish that's been braised in fermented bean paste along with some scallions and aromatics. Clear radish soup, miso soup, but Taiwanese style. And you can see a lot of the influences of Japanese cuisine that's been incorporated into this type of eating. For those who are unfamiliar, Taiwan was also under Japanese colonization until around 1945, which is also when Korea was colonized until. So you can see influences of Japanese cuisine amalgamated into how people are eating. With the miso, and also they're serving curry on the side. It looked really good. But these are everyday items that has kind of become a part of Taiwanese eating. What I really like about this setup is that all the dishes change depending on what is in season and available at the markets. And it's a great place for a lot of the locals to come and have some like home cooked foods. When we were talking to George, we found out that actually a lot of the people who are renting in Taiwan, the apartments are not equipped with kitchens. They were saying that it's the same price to cook at home versus to eat outside, but not all the food that you get outside is going to be healthy and nutritious, but places like these have a lot of healthy vegetables, home-cooked meals, and it's really a taste of home outside of home. There's a reason why this place is especially very popular with the market vendors. It's a central part of making sure that the community is fed and nourished. This is what I love about traveling for food and going to these kinds of places, is that it really immerses you into the local environment. Because I'm sitting here with all the vendors that I got all the produce from yesterday for Zhongqiujie. Seeing how people live and eat is a really big part of traveling and understanding how the people of Taiwan or wherever you are going think. I think huaguo is a little bit more like a in between a melon and a cucumber and a zucchini, but less on the cucumber notes, which is why I like it. Like I've been hyper obsessing with cucumbers this trip. But every dish is so well cooked. It's not super strong in flavors, it's really mild, which is why like each component fills up something. Like we have some meaty components, we have the eggplant, we have the fish, we have soup, we have something more crunchy veggie, and the harmony between all these ingredients is what makes a really well-balanced breakfast. And the rice is so good too. And this was so affordable. Yeah, for 3 people, we were paying around $7 USD. And these are all such high quality food with so much love and care. And can you imagine getting something like this? Like $7 doesn't even account for like a Happy Meal in the US. My mom and I were just talking about this, but like we would definitely come here again and just try all the side dishes because it's also changing. It depends on what is in season, and also it changes daily. I think also all the locals, it's a part of their like ritual. You know, everyone gets their lunch here and it's changing it that it's not gonna get repetitive. I could start every morning here.
In Taiwan, instead of saying "How are you?", a common greeting is "Have you drunk tea?" Tea is not just a beverage, but a means of connecting with others and asking how they are. Relationships and communities are built over sipping a cup of tea. So we decided to stop by a tea house and drink oolong tea coming from the mountains of Alishan. And if you were expecting a tea bag, a big no, baby. Tea making is a craft and a ritual of its own to bring out its best flavors. And you want to first boil the water between 190 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Rinse the tea to awaken the flavors, then let it sit for 60 seconds. Then strain and enjoy the aroma before sipping.
So this is the plain version without the chili oil on top, and this is the one with chili oil, which is called Hongshao Niu Rou Mian. I'm gonna go with the plain version first. Wow, broth is insane. Broth is so good. It's like super beefy, intense consomme broth, and I'm gonna try the noodles. So the noodles, they kind of almost take on a ramen-like noodle consistency. I can see why. This is one of the most famous noodles in the world. It's intense, it's super umami driven, and the beef on top, it's just falling apart. It's super salty, it's super meaty, and it's just so unctuous and indulgent. It's so good. And once that beefy broth is too much, you want to cut away with a little bit of the suan chai, which is the fermented mustard greens. This is literally my favorite. It's a lactic acid fermented salted mustard greens, and this is the same vegetable that was in our guabao on day 1 from Yifang. And then this is the Hongshao one, and you can see the chili oil just rising to the top. It kind of like disperses into little chili oil bubbles, and it's so beautiful, like a Yayoi Kusama artwork piece. Oh, wow. I don't know why, but the flavor combination on this tastes like a Costco combination pizza for some reason, and in the best way possible. It's meaty, it has like so many aromatics, it has a little bit of that almost like tomato taste, and you know there's no tomatoes in it, but it has a light acidity at the end, and the chili oil in it is so good. And actually on the side you have vinegar and extra chili oil if need be. I am gonna add a tiny bit of vinegar just to lighten up the dish. I have a little bit of a hangover from yesterday. We did drink a couple of beers along with the barbecue for Jie. And this is just, it's fixing me. It's fixing my hangover and all my problems. But to be completely honest, if I had to choose between one, I actually prefer the clear broth one. I think starting with the clear broth one and then moving on to the Hong Xiao. Yeah, for an extra 40, you can order pickles on the side, and it's a must. To cut away some of the really beefy notes of it. It's super acidic, it's salty, and I love it. This is like my favorite type of pickle. Ultra savory food, and I love savory. First refreshment actually of the day is going to be a cold plum juice. Still very hot, but I like it. It's actually not bad. It rained a little bit this morning, but now it's cooled down a little bit because like, there's shades. So it's actually not that hot to like walk around, but still I would like something to suck on. This city feels very walkable actually. And like we've just been walking around everywhere, public transport and a little bit of Uber, and it's been easy. I've been getting my steps in, so it means more food. So this is a sour plum juice, so suan mei tang. Suan is like suan la tang, the suan, so sour plum juice. Very different from Korean mesi, which we also have a green plum extract. It tastes a lot of actually honey. It tastes like honey and plum, and a little bit medicinal, but incredibly refreshing. 好喝的。お金稼ぐ渡しました。There's definitely something magical and mystical about Taiwan. Like the climate here is so like jungly almost, because you have everything that you need here. You have the high mountains, you have the ocean, and because it's also kind of more like closer to the equator belt, you just get like insane foliage. Yeah, you get insane foliage. Yeah, I actually think that 4 days is not even enough to cover Taipei. Like I feel like I've only seen like a tiny fraction of it, and it makes the world of a difference that people are so welcoming and kind, and they're just willing to help. And I don't know, it's just like it feels very genuine also, and it's been so nice and magical actually. I can't believe I still haven't had my first cup of bubble tea, and we're actually gonna go to the place that invented the bubble tea itself. They have a location near Taipei main station, so we'll be going there. And then at night we're gonna go to Raohe street food market, and it's 30 minutes away from where we're staying, but everyone has been telling me it is well worth the drive. Oh my god, what the fuck? Let's look at this whole chicken. The balls are smaller than what I'm used to. Smaller than the ones that I'm used to from like gongcha and stuff. And it actually almost, the texture is al dente. I like that the ice is like, it's not like big ice chunks, it's crushed up. It's creamy, it's milky, it's strong flavor of the black brew tea. It's a little bitter, but not too much. I got 30% sweetness and regular ice, and it's really, really nice. You can also choose 2 sizes. regular and large, and like the large one literally comes in like a pint, and I don't know how these like small girls are just downing these gigantic pints of boba. It's actually pretty impressive. There's a lot going on here. Intense, very intense. There's a lot going on. I think this is most people's favorite night market here in Taiwan. Every night market so far has been gas. Let's go. Now that it's our day 3, I started seeing like similar items that are popular. So even if you miss a food item at one of the night markets, don't worry, because the next one you'll go to will definitely also have it. So this is called 大肠包小肠, which means big sausage, small sausage. Sounds like an intro for a porno, but it's actually glutinous rice that's kind of like shaped into a sausage, grilled, then cut into half, filled with swan chai, sauces, and a wild boar sausage. It smells fantastic, actually. Very garlicky also. So the way she said it to eat it was pushy pushy, which means to push it up. Also sounds slightly inappropriate. Let's give it a try. I actually saw this on another creator's video, and it has exceeded my expectations. So the glutinous rice, it kind of gives a nice crispy char, but it's really nice and like oily and fatty. And the sausage is like also more on the spicy and sweet side. Really nice texture to it. And with the glutinous rice, along with some of the pickles on the bottom, this is really bomb actually. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. It's actually really good. No ketchup, no mustard needed. And on the bottom, the swan chai actually kind of adds some of that acidic note as well as the salty notes that's needed for this. It's a really good bite. I'm really excited to eat. I feel like this just like only made me hungrier. I really want to find some Taiwanese fried chicken though, but maybe a bevy first. We'll see. When I'm in Taiwan, I want to have at least 1 milk tea a day. And for some reason on day 1 and 2, I didn't get any. So today I'm gonna overcompensate and probably get 3 milk teas. Am I not afraid of ODing? Like AKA shitting my pants? This is what I mean by shaken, not stirred. That's what I want. I want a mechanical arm to just shake the living crap out of my drinks. Shaken exactly 1,000 times. That's what I'm gonna order next time I get a martini. Just letting my nose guide me. I want fried chicken. We found it. Jipai. Taiwanese, extra large fried chicken cutlet. Pie. So ji means chicken and pai is thin. So this is a thinly sliced Taiwanese style chicken cutlet. What's very special about Taiwanese style fried chicken is that they only use one type of starch to dress the chicken, and it's the same powder that's used for taro balls, which is tapioca starch. That's the thing that really differentiates Taiwanese fried chicken versus all the other fried chicken in the world. It's using sweet potato flour. And by using sweet potato flour, it gets this really, I mean this in the best way possible, but an eczema-like outer layer. And it gets almost very much like, I don't know, it looks like my little eczema right here. It's a little bumpy, it's a little crusty. It's me before moisturizer and shea butter. What makes Korean fried chicken interesting is that we use rice flour and also we double fry. But here in Taiwan, they don't double fry, they only fry once. But this place, what they do also special is they, after the chicken comes out of the fryer once, they dress it in the sauce and then put it on top of the grills. So it's actually fried chicken dressed in sauce, then grilled, and it gets this beautiful smoky char. You get the best of both worlds. You get the crunchy, but you also get that smoky flavor. And by grilling it again, it also retains that really crispy edge like you would with double frying. Let's give this a try. Perfection. It's fantastic. Very crunchy. I've never had grilled fried chicken ever in my life. There's like this intense chili flavor, and then it gets dusted with salt and MSG and chili powder, and most importantly, white pepper. White pepper is an incredibly important spice that's used a lot in Taiwanese cooking, especially for fried chicken. And I love it because white pepper versus black pepper, it's a little bit more herbal and light. It's really pungent, but you kind of need that to punch through some of that fried chicken. I love the contrast of the spice and the fry, and it's just so fragrant. And that's what I really, really love about this chicken. Damn. Dare I say, this might be better than Korean fried chicken. I know it's very controversial, and I know as a Korean, it's like one of the cardinal sins because you can't talk bad about Korean fried chicken, son, and Blackpink or New Jeans. I think the fry itself, nothing beats using sweet potato starch for fried chicken, period. But sauce-wise, I think we're better. I don't know. So I am getting a thread pulled face massage, and it looks wild. Come here. More. Oh. Makeup. Makeup, yeah. Okay. Yes.
I need to this. 不然我看不到。
看不到。这是名字是什么？
Marcelo của Ginger. 对。我讲的你听不出来吗？
She's playing the violin.
对了。
毛很多。
这要第二次。
Just said I have a lot of hair. 毛很多。Saying my eyebrows are not the same. 不一样。
对。还有毛。
毛。
还有。你怎么那么多？还有。啊！
哇！哇！哦 I'm a baby， 宝贝。
再等一下。
My skin literally feels like a baby. I feel reborn. So I'm gonna get a little more collagen by drinking bone broth. And here we have some pork spare rib bone broth. This looks like a very unassuming place, but it has been on the Michelin Bib Gourmand for 5 years. Let's give this a try. Ooh. Smell is actually very different from any bone broth that I've tried in my life. Very medicinal. But like it really tastes of those like little small red berries that you get when you go to Haidi Lao and you order the clear broth. That's what this tastes like, but much more like condensed. It's super, super herbal also. It's really good. And everyone's just like gnawing on the bones. And I'm gonna have some hot sauce with it as well. Super soft. I'm just literally like chewing through the collagen. And there's something very numbing at the end. Yeah, I think I would have loved it as like a hot pot or something. It's good though. Just not used to it.
I was caught up in a situation, could have gone real bad. I dipped, took a long vacation, no doubt left man of them mad. Gone. I left the hood, I said I would, so I'ma get mine and I won't feel bad. Nah, if they could, they probably should, but most man end up in a two-man pad. Left the hood, I said I would. I left the hood, I said I would. Ain't coming back. If they could, they probably should. Oh yeah.
There's so many fruits in Taiwan that I've never seen before in my life. This is called liehu. It looks like if a fig and an apple had sex and had a baby. That's what it looks like.
I love it.
Okay, let's try. It looks wild, honestly. And like, I'm surprised because my mom is usually not the adventurous type. She's been raving about this fruit for so long. Let's give it a try. It's like a cross between guava and apple. Yeah, it's actually not like super, it's crunchy, but it's very airy at the same time. Easy to chew, and it's actually the peel that's sweet instead of the inside. Food here has been tasting amazing. Night markets, I'm gonna be honest with you, at first I was a little apprehensive. I thought it was gonna be very touristy and much to like a tourist trap kind of thing that I was gonna walk into, but it wasn't the case at all, and it broke my perception of street food in a completely different manner. 100%, if you come to Taiwan, you need to come to a night market and try going to a couple. There's so many around the city and each one has their own characteristic, so explore around and just eat and have fun. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night. 再见，晚安。Chicken testicles.
No way they're that big.
Testicle chicken. Gochu. Yes.
Can't be chicken.
The chicken must have taken Viagra. Cheers. Very famous beer here in Taiwan. It's Taiwan beer, and there's two types, and this type is called 18 days. And it's called 18 days because it's not pasteurized. I don't think I've ever had beer that's been unpasteurized. It has almost like a fruity note to it that's really, really nice and light. It's actually really, really nice. Wow. So after Raohe Night Market, I don't know, there was an itch inside me. It's currently midnight, but we were like, we haven't had any beer on this trip. I mean, we had a little bit of beer yesterday with George for Zhongqiujie, but I don't know, there was something, but not the three of us exactly. And this is Doobie Crew. So we were like, okay, what would be nice? What would be nice? And we thought, ginger duck, which is something that you can't really get outside of Taiwan, and something that we were like, oh, this sounds really nice. Let's go. And it's also one of the only things that's open very late. And usually ginger duck places are open until 2 a.m. So it's a really great place to come with your friends. Not maybe as your first place to eat, but maybe as like seconds or thirds. If you feel like the night is ending too young, it's a good place to come and eat hot pot late night with your friends. And I love this circular table because number one, you can fit a lot of food in it, and number two, Have you seen the stools? It's actually so cute. It's so cute. As for some of the toppings, we ordered corn and also duck meatballs inside, and it gets served in this thick clay pot. We also got some wheat noodles just dressed in sesame oil, duck heart that's thinly sliced. And last but not least, this looks like fava beans, gigantic, but these are actually chicken testicles. I don't think I've ever had chicken testicles in my life, and I was today years old when I found out that chicken testicles are that big. We were all surprised. My mom said, chicken Viagra? Actually, we got an insider's tip from the cab driver that I almost forgot about. He said to eat the duck the very last because you want to let it stew for a long time so that it gets tender. I'm gonna have some noodles with the soup. I am so in love with Taiwanese food. It's actually insane. There's so much good food here. Wow, the broth is really good actually. I like this like medicinal taste to it. And for some of the sauces, we have a peanut sauce, as well as a bird's eye chili soy sauce. I'm gonna shabu shabu some duck testicles. Let's try. It's a first for everything. They look a lot like mentaiko. What a great way to end the night though. Some hot pot and some hot broth. Chicken testicles. You know, it's nice. This is what the cross section looks like. It's creamy. It actually just tastes like chicken skin for me. I quite like it actually. It kind of like starts bursting in your mouth when you put it in. Like most balls, I guess, but it's quite nice. I think if you get over the texture part, the chicken testicles are actually pretty good. Yeah. But my favorite is still the meatballs. Corn is good too. I like the broth a lot. I think it's time for us to try the duck too.
I'm just gonna go for a couple more testicles.
I really like this pot.
Yeah.
It's also the same pot that the luro fan was being stewed in.
400 years.
For probably like 2,000 years. But I think the whole eating experience of ginger duck is really nice. Like late night, almost always they have these like paper lamps on, and here at this location they have little chickens being drawn, and it's just very cozy. Open air also, lamps kind of swinging by the road, and you sit on a circular table with your friends and family and share a beer or two. It's really cozy. So a little side story to this, we ordered 6 at first, and then while we were setting up the cameras, we ate all of it. So I went back and then ordered 10 more. But I think we're gonna actually pick up 10 more before we go, because it's actually that good. So there's 2 types of biscuits that they sell here. And what's really incredible about this place is it's a tiny, tiny little corner shop, and they're making everything from scratch. The dough, the filling, the shaping, the baking, the selling, and the effectivity of this team is incredible. So there's 2 types of biscuits that you can order here. You have the sweet one, which is white sesame and black sesame speckled in. That's the way you know which one's savory versus sweet. Let me try the sweet one first. It has that nice thin biscuit texture, and the sesame that's roasted on top is so nutty. And then the red bean, there's not too much. It's just the right amount. It's the perfect balance. Nothing beats a freshly baked biscuit straight out of the oven. And they're constantly baking it at all times of their operation. So whenever you come, you are going to have a warm biscuit. And I knew that this place was going to be bomb because we've been walking by this place every day, and there has always consistently been a long line in front with locals just bringing boxes back home. So you know me, curiosity fattens the cat. This one is the meat-filled one. It's filled with pork and scallion. What I found really interesting about the way they were shaping it was that they have a teaspoon of the filling, and then instead of just putting the scallions in, they just kind of dump it in. So So the filling, and it's just so green and verdant, and the smell is incredible. It's crunchy, it's salty, it's flaky. The sesame on top is just that extra added punch of flavor. You get that nice scallion aroma coming through. Personally, out of the two, I think I definitely like the savory one more because I'm always more of a savory girly, but both are so good and they're so cheap. One biscuit is around like 50 cents USD, and it's going to be one of the best biscuits that you'll ever try in your life, and I guarantee that. Wow. So cute. We rented out like a little minivan because today we're heading to Jiufen and Shifen to a little like an hour drive outside of Taipei, but we're gonna be using this to get around and go to one more stop before we head out of the city. It's all real flowers, it looks like. It looks like marigold. So pretty. But pretty aside, I want some dessert. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the things that we've been having here, it's really that sweet balance between savory and sweet. And look at all the components. Wow, all these jellies. Not gonna lie, I think like before you try it, I know this doesn't look like the most picturesque thing in the world, but on a hot summer day like this, all these like different textures, like once you get used to it, it's the same as boba. Like if you think about boba on its own, like if you when you first have it, you think like, oh, it's kind of like frog eggs, right? Same thing with jelly. Just get over the mental hurdle and you're gonna be met with juicy, supple, slippery, cold pudding. Like all the components, each individual components, they do something different. I love the grass jelly as well as the rice noodles, and they're shaving it on the spot, and it's just so refreshing and cold. Not gonna lie, I think it's more of a texture thing than a flavor thing. The only thing that really does have a lot of flavor is the grass jelly. It kind of has like similar notes of coffee and a little bit of licorice, but not really, but it's more herbal. The white jelly here, it tastes like mochi, honestly. It's really more of a texture thing, and texture is as important of a component to a dish as it is to flavor, you know? I love the like murals on the wall, and they even have like a little pseudo shed over there that they built in, like a 3D rendering. It's actually really cool, and it's so popular too because today is so hot. If you've ever had like brown sugar boba before, you know the thing that they put on the side of the cup? It's that same syrup, and it's really malty. It almost has notes of maple syrup, and as the ice is melting, it becomes this really refreshing broth. Plain Bowl Club. Before we embark on our Jiufen journey, I realized we haven't had any fried rice, and the fried rice here is very special because the flavoring agent for this fried rice is little white bait fish. It's like the salting agent. It's salty, it pops a lot in flavor, it's fishy, but not too fishy to add that like zest of saltiness and umami. Okay, let's give this a try. But to be honest, what's really, really special about eating fried rice here isn't like the fried rice itself, more so, but the surrounding environment. When else are you going to be able to eat fried rice in front of the temple with beautiful trees and aircraft going by? But yeah, it really feels like a scene out of a movie. And like all the locals are just drinking beer and having fun and just eating outside. And there's multiple stalls, so if you want something else, like there's another place down the street that's really famous for their pig trotter noodles as well. But you can really pick and choose, and when the weather's nice, it's just so nice to just eat outside. And I love the way that the auntie is working the griddle, the rice bowl on one side, and then just kind of like mixing it all together with the egg. And for every fried rice, you need a liquid to kind of like compensate for the moisture, because just having fried rice on its own, it's gonna get too dry. So I ordered pot sticker soup, and the inside, I'm not sure what this is actually. I'm gonna have to ask a Taiwanese viewer to tell me what this is. There's just like yellow, almost like bean-like vegetable. There's tripe as well as some of the entails, and it has a very like shrimpy flavor to it. And some of these like dough is the, I guess, the pot sticker part of it. It tastes very similar to like a wonton noodle soup actually. Fried rice, wok fried on a griddle is just, it's too OP. It's too OP. We've just arrived in Shifen, and it's about an hour drive from Taipei. And the climate here is so tropical and wild. We've been driving through like a rainforest slash like bamboo forest, and the air here is completely different from Taipei. And you're gonna see all these people putting up lanterns up. Let's do one ourselves. Taiwan Piju, which is Taiwan beer. We're in Jiufen, and it is supposedly the Amalfi Coast of Asia. And because Jiufen is Asia's Amalfi, it also means that it's very, very over-touristed, and there's going to be a lot of people. They say that Spirited Away was modeled after Jiufen, but then I quickly Googled it, and Miyazaki has actually denied this. In these like highly touristed places, it's definitely difficult to find good places to eat, but this is like an OG place that all the residents of Jiufen come to. And we ordered some steamed fish, some gongsim chai, which is morning glory stir-fried with garlic and a little bit of MSG, as well as their famous Taiwanese roast chicken. Everything looks good. Also, as soon as we ordered the fish, she caught the fish from the tank over there and just made it to order. And look at this view. Look at this view. It's just dark. But if you come during the day, you're gonna be able to see the ocean. And so you have to choose, you know, like, do you want to see the red lights, the beautiful red lights and the night scenery, or do you want to see the beautiful blue ocean? So choose your weapon. Wow! Wow! We have the famous Jiufen rotisserie chicken, and it's stuffed with Jiufen yam. So there's also the yam taro balls that's inside, as well as the big chunks of the yam on the side. And here we have our steamed fish. Steamed fish is one of my favorite ways to eat seafood because it's so delicate and it really brings out the best flavors of the fish. It's perfect. And this is fried calamari that's been deep fried along with salted egg yolk. So the salted egg yolk bring that extra like depth of flavor, saltiness and umami, and a little bit of that indulgentness into the dishes, and this smells so amazing. She said that it's gonna be really good with the piju, which is our Taiwanese beer, and I cannot wait. Okay, I'm gonna start with the veggies first. Oh, wow. It's so crunchy is so delicious, and a little bit of that MSG goes such a long way to make all the vegetables so delicious. And I'm a huge believer that if a little pinch helps you eat more vegetables, I say go for it. I love that she deconstructed the chicken for us and then put back the skin on top to make it presentable. Like, these little things is, I think, what makes the biggest difference, and it makes you so happy. And look at how crispy the skin is. Wow. I'm gonna be a little naughty and go for only the skin first. I know you guys hate ASMR. I got so much hate in my last video for doing ASMR, but this you need to listen to. So crispy. Wow. That's definitely one of the best rotisserie chickens I've ever tasted in my life. I'm gonna try for the meat now. The meat looks juicy. Like the taro balls. So chewy, so yummy. Wow, this is so good. Wow. And some of the Jiufen yam as well. So golden. So when you order the chicken, you actually get the chicken drippings on the side, and she said to put it over the rice, and that it's going to be really delicious. It's all that chicken fat that's going to coat every single granule of the rice. I think it's one of the best chickens I've ever tried in my life, but this is actually the best chicken I've ever tried in my life. A little bit of MSG and salted egg yolk calamari. Wow. Wow. This is what I'm talking about. The salted egg yolk, it just brings out a totally different dimension when you fry it. Every single dish is cooked to perfection. I'm even gonna go so far to say that if you come to Jiufen, not for the Instagram pictures, but for this place, it's that good. Now for my favorite part, steamed fish. You like make incisions in the fish and you steam it whole. And then you put your aromatics on top of the fish, and then you pour sizzling hot oil. So on top there's julienne, scallions, red pepper, garlic, and the sauce is usually Chinese black vinegar, a little bit of soy sauce, and obviously the aromatic oil by pouring it on top. And by pouring the sizzling oil on top of the aromatics, not only does it imbue the flavor of the aromatics, but the skin slightly tightens up so that it's not too soggy, and the outside gets a little like tangy. Like the texture really firms up while inside is really soft and supple. OMG. I think I need to order one more bowl of rice after this. The sauce game here in Taiwan is the best I've ever tasted. Just simply incredible. Best meal I've had in Taiwan so far. Best meal I've had in 2024. Well, doobies, that is the end of our Taipei adventure. We are now on our way to Kaohsiung, which is around 4 hours and 19 minutes drive. And what did I realize about this whole experience? 4 days, including Jiufen and Shifen, not enough time to cover Taipei. But before we go, a quick little biscuit.